let's move into the Champion Chase on the Wednesday. This is a very interesting race that's kind of came to life after the Clarence House. Edward Stone sits at 13-8 now. Energumene 15-8. Edward Tajit, the Clarence House winner, 11-2. Gentleman to Me 8-1. 10-1 Bar. Craig, let's start with you. Obviously the Clarence House has moved from Ascot to Cheltenham. Edward Tajit wasn't even entered, and now has obviously beaten the front two in the market, and it's opened up a wee bit. But I'm surprised to see Edward Stone favourite, I would say.
Edward Stone was a horse that I took a while to warm to. Obviously, he showed a lot of ability over hurdles, but he was an early horse over hurdles, wasn't he? And then he started his chasing career first time around, and it didn't go to plan. Spell back over hurdles, came back as a second season chaser, fell at Warwick first time up, and from there he's just gone from strength to strength. Won the Arkle in good style last year. He's been very impressive this year. You know, Alan King made it clear that he wasn't 100% cherry ripe. He'd had a little setback before that Clarence House, and he gave Editor de G a 10-length head start. And you know, when they were going through the gears, the pace was lifting. He was asked to go and close a 10-length gap just to get competitive in the race, and he must have used up all his energy. Editor de G found a little bit more close to the line. I thought it was a massive run. I really did. The more and more I look at this race, Scott, the more and more I think Edward Stone's a good thing. You know, he's jumping solid. He's guaranteed a good pace to aim at, which brings out the best in him. Gentleman to Me and Editor de G are guaranteed to provide us with a really strong run race here. And I think that will really play into Edward Stone's hands. And, you know, I think he should be a little bit shorter than he probably is at 7-4 at the moment.
Mark, I think if you'd given Tom Cannon a ride back any time in his career, it would probably be the Clarence House at Cheltenham. As Craig says, he gave Editor Tajit far too much of a start and was obviously closing, and another day would have got the victory. Do you see Craig's angle with Edward Stone being a good thing? The Arkle record with going for a Champion Chase is obviously something I'm kind of looking towards, but Edward Stone, is he good enough?
Well, I've underestimated the horse continually. I paid for it last year in the Arkle because I didn't think he was good enough, and he was. And I continued into this season's Tingle Creek, and he was good enough again. And I thought that was a stunning performance in the Tingle Creek, actually. And Energumene's Champion Chase fell apart. I think Edward Stone was trying to beat Energumene last time out, and really, I think he just let Editor G get a bit far away because he thought he'd pick him up quite easily. I think Edward Stone as well. I mean, I hate tipping favourites, but I have to come round to this horse. He's like winning his races. His jumping's pretty slick. He was great at Sandown. Last season in the Arkle, he was really good, and I think he'll win as well. I think Edward Stone will win this. The fly in the ointment is Gentleman to Me, who beat him last season, but maybe by then Edward Stone was just primed for Cheltenham, and by the time he got to entry, he was a bit over the top. For me, it's all about Edward Stone. I think he's a lot better. Just because he's a British horse, he's been underestimated. He's going in against the Mullins favourite, who, you know, he won 9 of the Grade 1s last year, so people will pick up on that. And I think Energumene will go off favourite and Edward Stone will probably drift, but I'd still be with Edward Stone myself.
Callum, you've been very much in the Energumene camp from the start of the season, but Edward Stone, a horse that you've maybe not been in the side of it from last year's Arkle, has just come out and won the Tingle Creek, and then he wins a kind of finishes stronger than Energumene in the Clarence House. Are you beginning to flip-flop as Edward Stone now the bet here?
He's a most solid horse in the race, I think. His overall profile is quite impressive. He did shape like the best horse in the Clarence House, but I just don't think he's a superstar. How much more potential is there for, a horse that was okay over hurdles, second season novice. He did tip up at Kempton as well, so he does have a mistake in him at times. I just don't think a horse that's got a record that's 9 from 23 under rules should really be anywhere near 6-4 favouritism for a Champion Chase. Energumene's 8 out of 10 on the rules. I know the wiping excuse, he looked a little bit lethargic, but I think Paul Townend trapped him in the inner and tried to restrain him. I don't think that's the way he wants to be ridden. But he might be a bit more prominent, try and make a bit more use of him he's a high cruising speed. I would try and use his stride a little bit better. I think he might be able to reverse the form. So I would trust Mullins to get him back to A1. And the camp afterwards were pretty, they were tossing about the white paint excuses and stuff like that. And I don't think they were that worried by it. I think they let him a week behind because of the reschedule stuff. And I don't think they did much of him. So yeah, I'll just stick with the defending champion at the moment. But I would really respect him. There's plenty of others here that are dangerous as well.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am slowly coming around to Edwardstone. I just think I keep thinking as well, obviously, like the performance in the Tingle Creek where we completely wrote him off. I didn't fancy him at all getting into that. Yeah, he should have won the last day. Eder to Jajit. He gave Eder to Jajit far too much of a lead. I think Gentleman to me is the fly in the ointment because Gentleman to me and Eder to Jajit going to break each other's hearts. And you've got something from something like Edwardstone coming from the back. I think they won that Arkle last year. He jumped superbly. I think we were worried last year as well. Was he able to jump the fences? There was 13 fences in the Arkle last year, and I think he jumped nearly every one perfect. I'm beginning to side with Edwardstone. Energumene, did we make too much of his performance last year? I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to side with Edwardstone at the moment, but a 13 to 8 is a little bit short. So we'll go around the panel. Craig, very much in Edwardstone camp.
Yeah, like most of us here on the panel, I think we've all opposed Edwardstone at some stage. But we're all warming to him, and I think he's solid option because I upgraded his Clarence House form a little bit from the bare form.
Mark, Edwardstone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'll be parting with money on it, but yeah, I think Edwardstone just.
Callum, you're in Energumene.
Yeah, Energumene. I'll give a shout out to Grenadine as well. He's got the same rating as Edwardstone, and he flopped at Newbury, but I think Paul Nicholls kind of had him bounced a little bit. I think he left his kind of season really exit at the start, so I think he knows how to get him right. So I think at a wild price, I think he's a little bit interesting.
And I am going for Edwardstone.